All right. Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but credit them. They played very well. They played physical, and Fletcher did what Fletcher does. He made big shots in critical situations, and I thought they brought a lot of physicality to the game. And but with this, the most important thing is we've got to be able to respond from it, and we've got to understand that this hopefully wasn't the most important game of the year, and we've got a lot left to play for. And so it's going to hurt today, but we got to get off the mat, wake up tomorrow, and get back to work. And we got 2 big games coming up to finish this slate out. And then we've got to be able to go up to Asheville, and obviously, as we know, that's where it's all going to count. And so, I was proud of our guys for continuing to fight. I didn't think that we played with enough spirit and fight in the first half, and that's on me. I've got to do better, making sure that we're ready with the right mentality. We clearly weren't, and by the time we came out in the second half and played them, I guess it was 36-33 in the second half. It was just in a big game like that, it's just too late. And so we've got to grow from it. We've got to learn from it. But it doesn't take away from how proud I am of this group, how proud I am of these seniors, and Matt Rafferty, Andrew Brown, and what they've meant to this program, and Jalen and Brady and Tech. It's still a great day to be able to honor them. And there's a reason they're the all-time winningest players in the program's history. And I hate it didn't come out with a win. I would have loved to have honored them with a win. But we came up short, so we'll learn from it. We'll get better from it, and we'll keep moving forward.
It's an interesting first half in that you took 1-3 over like the first 9.5 minutes, and you were winning 21-16. And everybody knows this team, a lot of the offense is predicated on getting open threes and everything. Probably the fewest you shot to start a game like that, but you were winning 21-16. What happened in the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of this first half?
I thought the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, I thought we did a great job cutting, and I thought we were moving. I thought the ball was moving. I thought feet were moving. And then for whatever reason, they got really physical on our cuts, and they started, it's kind of what they do. They're pretty physical, and it made us not cut as hard and not cut as frequent. And we had 13 good cuts at halftime, and 6 of them came in the first 4 minutes of the game. And so for the next 16 minutes, basically we had 7 cuts of cuts that we would prefer. And they're old, they're veteran, and they've got good defensive schemes. And so if you let them sit there in the gaps, and they've got all that size down in the paint, if you don't move it, then it makes it hard to score. And I just didn't think that we did a good job of just staying with our movement, staying with our cutting. And, we wanted to sit there and watch Matt a little bit, and we're just not nearly as good when we do that. We're better when we got body movement and ball movement.
Defensively, I think you guys had 35 ball deflections against UNC Greensboro. Didn't seem like as many today. Was that something to do with how they take care of the basketball? Or was it...
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job taking care of the ball. So if you're going to make them turn it over, you're going to have to have active hands. You're going to have to get some pressure on the passer. You're going to have to make sure that you're flying around. And, again, that's just I didn't think we did a good job of that in the first half. I thought that they're running motion, and they do a good job. They got 2 really physical screeners, and they got 2 really good shooters, really 3 really good shooters out there. And you can't let them just have rhythm to what they do. And if they're allowed to have rhythm, there's a reason they're 16-0 in the league. And I thought we were going to be able to create a little bit more disruption. I didn't expect it to be. That's what their best. That's one of their best things that they do. They take care of the ball, and it allows them to get a lot of shots. But I think what we'll see on film is we didn't quite have the activity that we wanted there.
In the second half, about 12 quarters ago, you guys cut it to 3 and missed a couple of tries at tying the game, and they got on another little bit of a run there. What made the difference at that point of not being able to cut the lead back down and have a shot?
It takes a lot of energy, first of all. Like when you dig yourself a hole versus a very good team, and you get down 11 and a half, and then they come out and hit the 3, so they put it to 14. It takes a lot of energy, right? And you got to fight, and you got to battle, and then at some point you got to sub, and you got to have guys that come in there and are ready to do what they need to do to keep that momentum going. And look, they did what good teams do. They absorbed the blow, and then they made their run, right? And I thought we had another chance to try to get the deficit down again if we could have really sunk in and got some stops, but. Stops after that, because that run right there was we started getting some stops. We were stringing some stops together. And, again, multiple times, right, late in the shot clock or middle of the shot clock, you just look up, and it just seemed like at opportune times they hit some big threes. And I thought we did a better job with. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but it felt like we did a better job keeping them off the offensive glass in the second half. But I thought they made some big threes at critical times, and then we didn't, right? I mean, in that stretch, we were getting stops and then we were scoring. The energy was up, and I just felt once they scored a few buckets and got it back to 6 or 7, I thought our energy fell a little bit from there.
Obviously, a totally different situation than the last time you lost here. But the last time you lost here, you went on a nice little run out on the road the next 2 weeks. So it's kind of like a similar, the play is set for something similar. How do you get your guys beyond this loss and
Yeah, I mean, you can't let this loss beat you twice, and I think that's huge here. We've got to be able to regroup and respond, and it's going to hurt. We're all competitors. Nobody enjoys or likes to lose, so there's going to be some pain from it. You just want to make sure that that you get through that, and you make sure you quickly get to the mirror and you figure out, hey, what do I have to do better? What do we have to do better? And you watch the film and you make those adjustments. And you can't, when you lose. I mean, this group's only lost 6 times all year, so it's a deal where these guys, you can't just jump off the ledge. All of a sudden, Wofford comes in here and beats you, and then, hey, wow, the season's over. If we're sitting here talking in Nashville, that's a different situation. But there's still big games. There's still a ton to play for, and we just got to watch it. And that's what we usually do. We'll take 3 or 4 things from this that if we would have done this better or we'd have done more of this, then you're going to have a chance to win the game. And then you go out to the practice floor and you try to improve in those areas.
This game, of course, great atmosphere, sold-out crowd, drew a lot of attention locally and nationally. What does that say to you about your program as well as the SoCon?
Well, I mean, I think we know how good the league is, and it just shows the growth of the league. It shows the growth of our program. It shows, the attention that this is starting to build, and it's obviously been a journey, but it shows you what we can do here, and we can continue to have great basketball teams and great environments and atmospheres, and that people want to come out and see it. I think that people saw a good basketball game out there today. It was competitive, and you saw 2 teams that really try to play hard. They try to play together, and so I think it shows that we've made a lot of progress, but we've got to continue, and we've got to continue to get our youth better. We got to continue to, obviously recruit at the level we've been able to recruit at, but also develop at the level we've been able to develop at. And that's one of the most proud things about this group, with Andrew and Matt. Nobody really expected us to be in this situation. I think everybody thought with what we were losing, we wouldn't be in this situation. And so to see what they've been able to do in a year like this, when you look at the whole thing from an aerial view, it's pretty rewarding and it's pretty impressive. And that's why the last thing I want to do is go in there and beat these guys up, and tear them down. I mean, it's nobody in that locker room wanted to lose this game tonight. I can assure you of that. And we gotta. It's life, right? If life was all about wins, I think it would be a lot easier. But a lot of times in life, you got to learn from the losses, and that's where you can really grow the most from. And so I look forward to that. I look forward to this finish. I think that I believe this group. I believe this group, and I think that we can go up to Asheville and we can win what we need to win in Asheville to go and win this conference tournament. I think that can be said, right? And we've got to learn ways in these last 2 weeks, and maybe this is the last snapshot of, okay, here's one more challenge, here's 2 more things that we really got to try to fine tune, and we keep peaking at the right time and get through this one. Then hey, maybe this proves out valuable, and we'll see. There wasn't an NCAA tournament bid out there, on the table tonight, so we've got to make sure we keep getting better and keep improving.
Is that, you mentioned the NCAA tournament bid. In some ways, it's always tough to recover from a loss because kids want to win. But in some ways, they always have that, does it make it easier because you have the conference tournament coming up and saying we can still win our way in?
I mean, I think that's everybody's mission around the country. We got to take them one at a time. We got to go to Sanford, and Sanford's good. They present some challenges, and we got to go on the road, and we got to take that game. That's the most important game. And, but before that game on Thursday, we've got to find areas that we can improve. We got to come to work on Monday, and we got to have a really, really good week of practice, go on that road trip, and then come back. And, you're gearing up for a finish. And this is all about finishing. This isn't about, what happens at the beginning, what happens in the middle. College basketball is created to be about the finish. And so that's where we've got to put our focus, and we got to do it quickly.